Hey, and welcome to this week's Chamber Beat. I'm Ryan King with Jared Bigham. We're here actually in the state capitol building in the old library where we just finished a press conference downstairs. Jared, you joined the governor for an education-related press conference, and we'll learn a little bit more about that in a second. But first, we want to thank our sponsors, LBMC and Baker Donaldson, for sponsoring the Chamber Beat and this publication here. And we have our very first action alert of the year, Senate Bill 2671, House Bill 2671, Senate Bill 2448, which extends those liability protections on businesses that were passed 2 years ago. Obviously, very important to the business community, something that we worked very hard on in 2020. Those expire on June 30th of this year, and we're asking that those be extended 1 year. So please read the action alert here in the Capitol update, contact the committee members and ask them for an extension. Obviously the busiest week of the year so far coming up. Lots of things we need to tell you about related to employment law. Just look down. Those links are going to be in the bill update section down below. You can get all the information you need from there, but 2 or 3 very busy committees this upcoming week that could really affect the way our employment law here in Tennessee looks. So I'll stop there, Jared. It's been a busy day for you. You just stood right next to the governor to talk about some of the BEP funding formula.
Yeah, we'll just say proximity.
Right.
I was in the same building with the governor. We'll say
Right.
yeah, so most members will know that we had the privilege as a state chamber of chairing a subcommittee of other chambers and economic development organizations across the state. And this press conference was to primarily focus on next steps in this process, but also hear from some of those subcommittee chairs and talk about some of the overarching things that I think pretty much every subcommittee agreed on, and a lot of the steering committee members has heard some of those conversations agreed on, and that is shifting to a student-focused formula with as opposed to a program-driven type formula. It would give particular weights to different student demographics. For example, students in low socioeconomic settings in either rural or urban core would get additional per pupil expenditures for those students to help facilitate their learning, and also looking at special populations of students that either that might have some special needs or advanced placement students. It's just a fact that different students require different amounts of money to educate, just depending on if you're willing to individualize programs as much as possible, and programs as well. So if you've got students in a CTE program, which I know our members are very passionate about CTE courses and students having the opportunity to access those courses. So something like CTE completer students would get additional per pupil expenditures for being in a CTE program.
Right, and those are all good points. Play it down ever how much you want to. It's still an honor for the governor to invite the chamber to stand next to him in a press conference, and proud of the work the chamber and specifically you, Jared, have done leading your committee. Workforce development has been a key priority of the chamber. It's something we work on every day here at the Capitol and in Cordell Hall. Couple of updates there, Jared. First, on computer science, we expect that to a computer science requirement in high school. We expect that to hit calendars in a couple weeks. A quick overview of that, Bill.
Yeah, so this is something that is really our membership has been passionate about in every sector, because now technology permeates everything. And the governor's really doubled down in this area in response to a lot of feedback from the constituency that every high school student within 7 years from now, so the graduating class of 2029 will be required to take computer science, at least one computer science class. and then give more access to elementary students to computer science embedded in their curriculum, and middle school students would be required to take at least one grading period of computer science during their 3 years in middle school.
And dual enrollment coursework is something that we've identified as a priority. Students should have the ability to take a number of dual enrollment classes so they're ready to hit the ground running. They're ready to, for lack of a better phrase, slide right into their TCAT program, slide right out into the workforce.
Yes,
right?
and that's something this is probably the thing I'm most excited about in education policy in a long time, because I know Chamber has advocated for this, and just personally, as a parent, I've seen the need for this, and I think we're taking some definitive steps in the right direction by allowing, as legislation is drafted, students to access any TCAT credentials that they want while they're in high school. So like to your point, they could go right into a job after high school, and then increase the number of traditional dual enrollment courses students take from 4 to 5.
Great. Dr. Bigham, thanks for joining us here today, and join us again next week on the Chamber Beat. Look down in your update for several updates. Again, that action alert is out there. Please make those contacts this weekend. Thanks again, everybody.